Well, hey guys, contrary to my better judgment, we're going to try Stay Ball 6.5 one more time in Project Little 7. Got some loads here that are both Stay Ball 6.5, and we are going to run, these are 150 grainers. So we're running the ELDX and that Nosler Combined Technology Ballistic Silver Tip 150s. And they're both over the same charge of Stay Ball 6.5. A fairly aggressive charge, below max according to the books, but really want to try to get closer to 2800 with 150s, which I'm finding was probably a lofty goal in a 22-inch barrel. So, if you go back to the original, I think episode 1, or maybe it was even before we got started with Little 7, we looked at goals. We looked at, for each bullet weight, we looked at a velocity we were hoping to achieve. And I guess I have those here just to revisit those. We said, let's see, for the 175s, we were shooting for 2,600. We didn't quite get there. I think we were 25 feet short. For the 160 class bullets, we shot for 2,700. We're getting that. We're getting in the low 2,700s. We did see close to 2,750 last time. And then for the 150s, we were shooting for 2,800. The 140s, 2,900. And the 120s, 3,100. So when I picked all those, I was looking at Stay Ball 6.5 and Superformance were the powders that seemed to get that in a few books and a few manuals. And then if you recall, we tried 6.5 and we just weren't getting any kind of accuracy, consistency. We were getting great velocities. So we talked about ball powders and how they can be picky. I've had such great experience over the years with Winchester 748, Winchester 760. I didn't want to give up yet. So we're going to run it one time under these 150s and see what happens. Trying to get to that 2,800 mark, but we've got to keep accuracy over velocity all day long. So we said we want to stay under 3/4 MOA. And with that 150 grain Nosler ballistic tip, we were right there. We were at 3/4 MOA, but we were short on velocity. So let's fiddle with that. That's next up when we head out. You also probably saw when I showed the close-up of the bullets that I had a box of American Whitetail 139 grain interlocks there. I'll use those to foul the bore on that Weatherby Vanguard. And when we do that, we'll measure velocity and we'll check accuracy too. And that way we're producing a little bit of once fired brass. So that's what that was all about. We're going to run that Weatherby again. We're not giving up on the Tikka. We're not putting it away. And when the weather gets better, I could see taking them both at the same time. Speaking of weather, we've actually had more snow in the past 4 days, I think, than we've had all winter prior to that, which is pretty unusual for where I live here in the high Rocky Mountain desert. Let's see, I think the only other update, I did give that Vanguard a big deep cleaning after its first range trip. About 20 rounds were put through it and it was really fouled and dirty. So I gave it a deep cleaning. So we'll make sure and foul the bore, like I said, with some of these factory loads before we get going next time. I guess the only other thing I was going to mention, guys, is I can't wait to keep going on Project Little 7. I'm learning a ton, loving the cartridge. And then I was also just looking back at Project 270 from a few years ago, and I counted up all the different loads we tried on that project, and it was 46 different loads. Crazy. I just lost track of how we went all in on that project, and it was so fun. And I was just looking back at some of the loads and how early on Reloader 26 looked so promising, but we walked away from that for similar reasons, I guess, to why we walked away from Reloader 6.5 or Stay Ball 6.5. We were getting some great velocities, but we had pressure come on quickly, super quickly. And that got kind of scary. And then we had some questionable accuracy coming out of all that. But that's a project for another day. It was just shocking to me to realize we had tried 46 different loads on that project. And we're getting there on 7mm08, right? Let's see. Let me just look at this real quick. Apologize here for the camera movement. On 7mm08, we are sitting at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 24. We're at 28 different loads on 7mm08, and we haven't even gotten lower than 150 grain bullets. We've done 175s, 160s, 150s. So we're going for it, guys. We'll catch up soon.